Well, welcome. So today our goal is we're going to address what you should be doing right now on social media and the concerns and questions, as I mentioned, as you have them, please drop them in the chat box here. Let me just go ahead and do one more thing here. I've got to give someone else admission here. All right. All right. Many of you are finding that you might feel like this, all right? Or perhaps like this at this point. You could also be feeling like this, all right? If you feel these things, I promise you, okay, you are actually in the right place today, because I'm going to cover some things that are going to hopefully take away some of these frustrations or concerns that you may have. All right, so anybody remember feeling like this a couple weeks ago? And then all of a sudden our worlds have kind of shifted and changed. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, guys. I know it has been a whirlwind, and many of us are questioning how we should be proceeding with our businesses. All right, and I know once this happened, it's shifted a lot of different things for us in how we approach our social media, how we are approaching our businesses, for our employees, for our businesses in general. All right, but what does that mean for you as a business owner? Well, before all of this happened, we were all still using social media. We were doing our thing that we needed to do to run our businesses. And now more than ever, it's important that all of us be really ramping up our social media presence, because right now it's becoming more and more important to get your message out there and to communicate to your potential client or customer. So today we're going to talk about social media and the new COVID world. We still have several months. We don't know, how much longer all this is going to continue to affect us. And with all of this said, we're all shifting to how we need to do business. And a lot of folks that are your potential client or customers are online right now, and they are paying attention. They want to know if you're open for business. They want to know what you're doing to offer services, how you're adapting certain services that maybe you had in the past. So we're going to discuss how you should go about that. But before I get really into that, many of you on this call actually don't really know who I am. And so you've taken faith in joining me on this call today, and you want to learn about the hot topic of social media. I get that. But I do want to cover a little bit about who I am and who my agency is, where I come from, and why I'm here today to help you. So again, my name is Shannon Loy, and I founded my company about 5 years ago. Of course, the name, The Social Ginger, I'll give you a couple guesses on that one. All right. I had to come up with something fun and interesting, and it just kind of spoke to me. So we came up with The Social Ginger. Before I started my company as a social media agency, I spent a large part of my corporate or my professional life in a corporate business with music and arts, which is the largest national retailer for band and orchestra instruments. They're also a parent company of Guitar Center. So I served as a store manager for several years. I also served as an educational sales representative for the company, working with all the local schools with their band, orchestra, chorus needs, sheet music, general music needs, all of that stuff. Because I am a musician, I actually play the saxophone myself. And so in my time with music and arts, I learned a lot about sales and marketing and how to manage people. And the great thing about the job was that I was my boss. I was my own boss in a sense, and I really enjoyed that. But I did know that I wanted to do something different with my life. So I had a dear friend of mine reach out to me who owns the Tin Pan. She opened the Tin Pan about 6 years ago. She needed a PR director. She came to me and she said, "Hey, Shannon, I know you're looking for an opportunity or some change. I need a PR director. Would you like to join my team?" So I said, yes, absolutely, because it fit all the boxes that I loved, and that was music and marketing and sales. And it just seemed like a really cool thing. So if you aren't familiar with the Tin Pan, it's a live music venue here in Richmond, Virginia that brings in national, regional, and local talent. And unfortunately, currently they are dealing with COVID-19 and that they had to cancel their shows up through July. So that's definitely been a hardship for them. That being said, they are going to reopen when all this clears up, and I am still helping them with their social media and still managing their needs for marketing and PR as well. So my journey with them, though, is special in that when I joined their team, I used social media, but I didn't do it as a business like I am today. What I did learn, though, for a small business is the value of social media and the importance of doing it on a regular basis. And this venue actually, has on average about 20 to 25 shows a month. And we bring people into that venue through running Facebook ads. And a lot of the marketing dollars are actually spent in marketing, the shows and on Facebook and Instagram. And I saw how that helped to build the business. And it just made sense. I started doing it for other companies. One thing led to another. And here I am today, and I've managed many different types of businesses. These are some businesses that we're currently managing and or have recently managed over the last couple years. There, of course, have been many others, but these were some that I wanted to bring to your attention. So we have a good variety of businesses that we work with. A lot of the businesses that we typically work with are service-based, but we do have a couple others that are outside that scope as well. All right, so before our call today, our webinar today, I sent out a questionnaire to everybody, and you guys answered those questions. Thank you. And I took a poll. I went through all the responses to those questions and saw a lot of comments that you made. And there was a lot of similar, consistent commenting about the challenges that many of you are facing at this very time and moment. And so I wanted to bring those to the forefront so that you could see and know that you are not alone in these thoughts. Okay, so one being, many of you are overwhelmed. You don't have a clear plan. You're sort of winging things. The other one is correct tone and messaging for the time that we're in. How should you be addressing your potential client or customers on social media? The next would be deciding what to post in this unusual time. I know sometimes it gets a little awkward. It's like, okay, what should I be posting? I don't want to offend anybody. How should I address that? The other one would be creating content that draws engagement. Obviously, you're still in business. You still want to continue to sell things. You still want to draw in customers and clients. So what is it that you should be doing to draw in that engagement? And then the other is no time, no planning, no knowledge. All right, so these are very real concerns, guys, and I get it. There's so much that all of you are dealing with as business owners, and I know you have a lot on your plate right now. And social media for some is like this foreign object. Some of you, you're like, yes, I got this. There's a lot of different concerns and questions that many of you have, and again, I want to reiterate that that is normal. All right. So with everything that's happening, we're all in complete lockdown mode. We're all in our houses right now. So social media usage is rising. That's just natural. A lot of us are tending to go to our phones and look and see what's happening. We're getting on streaming services such as YouTube, Netflix, and we're ordering out every now and then, getting pickup. So we're having to use our phones. We're having to check in on businesses. We're having to see what's going on. So in natural, it's a natural increase. And with that comes the fact that people are developing habits that maybe they didn't have before. So over time, this natural rise or increase is not going to go away. This is just a further proof that social media is where all of us should be and continue to be. Here is a really great piece of evidence of that. I noticed in the questionnaire, many of you indicated that you use LinkedIn, but not everybody. If you don't use LinkedIn, I would consider it. Can you see these numbers? All right, so we're looking at an increase of over 2,000% in the usage of LinkedIn. And a lot of it has to do with, people are, yes, indeed, searching for jobs. People are doing research about opportunities. But there's also just been an uptick in businesses engaging on LinkedIn and other people reading their content. So if you're not familiar what articles are an online sort of blog that LinkedIn hosts, people contributing, writing material. And so people are reading that, and there's a major increase in that, as well as overall engagement. I mean, if you can see here, the spike from January 22nd all the way up to March 23rd, and I'm sure the number now that it is now April 14th is even well beyond that, okay? As far as how the other social media platforms are doing, they are also increasing. I couldn't find an accurate number at this point as to how that's working. A lot of the blogs though are saying it is increasing, which I do believe because I'm seeing it in our clients and how the engagement's happening on our clients' social media platforms. So I found this quote very, very right on, guys. This is not the season to be quiet. This is the season to be communicating. You want to think of social media as a way to communicate to your potential client or customer. They want to know that you're still there, that you're still in business, that you're, you know, if you had a potential service that you offered, you know, that maybe you had to tweak that to meet today's current demands and needs. They want to know that. And if you think of social media in that aspect, that's going to help a lot. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover 5 things that you want to keep in mind when creating content for social media. This actually pertains to any business. Okay, I know we all have unique businesses and we all have unique approaches into how we need to be marketing our businesses, and also what platforms you need to be more active on as opposed to others. But this is a general, you know, 5 things that all of you should be doing regardless of where you are currently on social media at this point. Number 1 is you want to consider your customers' needs now. They have changed. Because of all the changes, everybody is dealing with different issues in their lives. Some people don't have jobs. Some people have kids at home that they're homeschooling. Some people, you know, maybe have personal problems with their family. Maybe they're trying to still sell their house and they need help. In this instance, we work with a title company. They wanted to let people know that they're still here for you. They're still open. They're still doing title researches. They're still helping people close on their homes, and they're doing it through e-recording services. And they want people to know that, because I know a lot of people are like, hey, how am I going to close on my house if I can't meet in person, or I can't sign documents, or I can't, or my title company can't do the research because maybe courts are closed, that kind of thing. They are still able to do it. They wanted to let people know that. So think about your business and how you can address those concerns or needs to your potential customer. All right, the next one is demonstrate trustworthiness. If you are a business that is in a position to help some people, your potential clients or customers, in a free sort of lending way to help them get through this particular tough time, you know, do it. It's a great way to build trustworthiness, to build your reputation. You know, this particular client of ours, Mary Foley, who actually is on this webinar at this moment, she works with women entrepreneurs. She, you know, sees it firsthand how things are affecting a lot of businesses in and around the Richmond area. She wanted to take time out of her schedule to address how to survive and thrive and give tips to gals who need them in this time. So she offered a free webinar. So again, if you have the ability, investigate it and try to offer up help as best you can. The next one is bring your brand's value to life. So what are your brand's values? Think through that. You know, are you a brand that supports the local community on a frequent basis? Do you support a particular nonprofit? Do you have a passion for something in general? Think about the different things that you guys represent and how are you going to support that or bring that to life and show that to your potential client or customer. People want to know your authentic, genuine side of your business. You're more than just a business. You're people that are operating a business. And people like to see that. So this particular instance is a law firm, Bowenton Cardani. They are very active in the community, and they do a lot of work with local nonprofits, but they also want to support the local businesses as well. One of the attorneys there purchased a whole bunch of jam called Damn, This Is My Jam. And they gave it out to folks in their office as a gift to get through the hard times. But they also looked at it as a way to support a local business as well and posted about it. Another one is to be mindful of your tone, timing, and delivery. I know this is tough. It depends on the type of business that you have, things that you want to consider. The fact that not everybody is in the same place right now. Some people haven't been affected so much. Some people have been very much affected. Some people are homeless. Some people are dealing with challenges in getting food. Some people, everybody's got different spectrum, has a different place on the spectrum of where difficulty is or how their life is currently going. Some people have high schoolers that are graduating this year that can't walk across the stage to graduate. There's prom. I mean, gosh, there's so many things that so many people are not able to do right now. So this particular organization is a nonprofit we work with. It's a music nonprofit, and they support local music programs and helping them with grants to help fund creative music programs. And this particular one is a grant recipient who feels very passionate about making sure that kids have memorable experiences right now beyond what's currently happening. She had this quote: "We really need to find ways to make this year memorable for the kids, not for the wrong reasons, but for the amazing things they can do with difficult times." So we took that quote. It's very perfect for the timing of the moment. And wanted to put it out there on the page. This particular post did incredibly well because it really resonated with the audience that is part of the Give a Note page. All right, the next one and last one is you want to find ways to provide value. People have asked me, hey, should we be marketing our business right now? Should we be actually, getting out there and selling stuff? I know all of us need to make money and we all want to be continuously promoting our businesses, but in a way you want to think of it as I think the best way to be promoting your business at this point is giving advice or giving assistance or helping people in a time of challenge or crisis. The sales will come, guys. As you build trust, as you build relationships with people, you'll be able to do more business. I think about, when I order my carry out, I think about the businesses that I patronized before everything happened, or restaurants. And so those are the restaurants that I do continuously try to order takeout on because I would love to see them still be there when I come back or when they come back. So the more you can help and lend your supportive services, now's the time to do it. It's also a great time to try things that are new. Get out there and see if it speaks or resonates to your potential client or customer. So things that you can do is create videos. We all have a cell phone, right? So you can get yourself in front of a cell phone, create a tip video of some sort. Also, writing blogs is helpful. Creating graphics that offer tips. The goal being educational content. You could also potentially offer a webinar like I'm doing right now, some sort of a virtual workshop to help out the people that you want to help out. And this is why I used my post here as an example, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to be helpful in this situation as best I can for all of you. So what else should you be doing? Don't stop posting. I've actually had people say, hey, should I be posting? Is anybody even looking at the stuff that I'm posting? Absolutely, people are looking at your content. If there's not a lot of engagement necessarily, there are people out there that I call lurkers. There are people out there that look at your stuff and never do anything with it. And I know every single one of you are probably guilty of that at some point, right? You're probably scrolling through and you see it, you look at it, but you don't like it, you don't love it, you don't comment on it, you don't share it, but you're like, huh, that's actually pretty right on, that exists. And, people are looking at your content, and just remember that. So absolutely don't stop posting. If anything, continue to post daily if you can. You want to stay relevant. Use popular hashtags within the conversation that you are addressing. So if you are posting about COVID-19, then include the very popular hashtag right now, which is COVID-19. There's several others out there that are also really popular within that conversation, such as stay at home, or stay home is a hashtag, until tomorrow, flatten the curve, quarantine and chill. Okay, so there are some specific hashtags that right now are very popular in that topic area. But the other thing you want to think about is local hashtags. So using RVA, or using RVA events, or if you happen to be offering a specific subject matter like lawn care, use lawn care. Think about what those hashtags are. Keep those in the conversation. A lot of people ask me, hey, Shannon, what kinds of hashtags? Well, you want to think about subject-based, location-based, and also branded hashtags. So a good mix of those is a good recommendation. The other one would be innovating. Now is the time to innovate. If you don't innovate, you might not be around. So you want to consider innovating, which means that go beyond your comfort zone, whatever that is. If you're already doing video, great, do more video, but maybe offer a virtual opportunity. And there are a lot of other angles for innovation within a business that don't necessarily pertain to social media, but you want to be thinking about ways in which you can be creative and go in a different direction so that you can reach the people that you need to reach. Then, of course, now's the time to spring clean your current presence. Some of us are at home. We have more time on our hands. Now's the time to look at your branding. How have you put yourself out there? Get an audit performed. Look through your current presence. See, what are other people seeing, and clean it up. And then come up with a strategy and a communication plan. If you don't actually have a strategy or communication plan, now's the time to start putting that into place. Because as business owners, we all know that we have to have a strategy or a plan to operate our businesses, right? Well, the same thing is true for social media as well, okay? Now, before I move on, I do have David Hilton on in our workshop right now. David is actually part of my team. He is a social media manager. And I wanted to give him an opportunity to introduce himself, and I'll let him make any other further comments about his perspective as a social media manager. So David, are you able to unmute yourself? There you go.
Yep, I am. It's good to meet everybody. I know a couple of you that are on here, and for those of you that I emailed, it's good to meet you and glad to have you here. Like Shannon said, I just wanted to introduce myself. I have been doing social media for it's actually about 13 years now. I started in the MySpace days. I know a lot of people were on MySpace, but I actually put the newspaper I was working at, a small newspaper, I put them on MySpace. And throughout my career, social media has been part of what I've done. Most recently, I was at one of the TV stations here in Richmond. And everywhere I've gone, social media has just been part of what I've done. So I've worked with a variety of work personally at a variety of places and have a variety of clients that I'm working with at the Social Ginger. And the one thing that I just wanted to say real quickly, and it's kind of backs up a little bit about what Shannon said, is, I tell my clients right now that if it feels repetitive to you with things that you're posting, that's a good thing. You have to keep in mind that your customers and people who are following you on Facebook aren't seeing all of your posts necessarily. But now's the time to just continue posting, coming up with different ways to get your messaging out. Like, you can say that you're open in multiple ways. Do a simple post, do different graphics, do videos, do a Facebook Live if you haven't done a Facebook Live yet, just so people can see that human side of you. And one of my bigger pieces of advice right now is just to keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. If you're in a business that has a sale, don't complicate your sale. If you're planning a sale, continue to go forward with that. But if you keep it simple for you, and just continue to post, you're going to see a lot of results, and customers are going to remember this when it's over, or when we can get back to some sort of normalcy. Customers are going to remember seeing those Facebook posts, whether you said the same thing 5 times. They're going to remember that and come back to you in a few months.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, David. And as you were talking, David, I actually had a couple people pipe in with some questions, so I want to take a minute to address the questions that are coming through. Let's see, the first one would be, how often should we be creating videos and blogs? Studies show that the more often you write blogs, the more traffic you're going to be able to drive to your website. So writing blogs, if you can do it once a week, that's great. If you can do it more than once a week, that's even better. The reason being is that Google actually gives more preference to businesses that have more of an active presence. So if you are consistently giving your professional wisdom through blogs on your website, that is going to help with your search engine optimization, or your ranking for Google. So that being said, writing is not something that all of us enjoy doing or do well. Or we don't have time to do it. That is something that you need to make a call on yourself. If you are not writing at all, writing once or twice a month is definitely an improvement. So the goal is to always be striving for improvement, doing more than you're currently doing. If you have somebody on your team that can help you write those blogs, that makes it even better. As far as the video content, they actually recommend that your overall content mix should be 70% video, which, yes, I know is a lot of video. That for many of us, most of us, is not simply doable. Okay, the mix should be a whole bunch of different things, from maybe going live to pre-recorded video. What I would suggest is that if you want to do some tip videos, find a slice of time and get in front of your phone and actually go ahead and record a lot of those videos. Go ahead and do your editing, and then once you do all the editing, then just start trickling them out, maybe one a week, one every other week. That would be the best way to go about it, okay? Other questions that I have here, we've got somebody asking, is it okay to post the same content on Instagram and Facebook? If so, is it okay to have the hashtags on the Facebook post so you can post on both platforms? Okay, so 2 very different platforms. That being said, posting square images or square graphics on both of them is absolutely okay, and it works fine. The problem you run into is that if you post or automate posts from one to the other, is the hashtag volume. And you don't want to have all those hashtags on Facebook. It looks very spammy. It really doesn't serve a function. So you want to make sure you're considering that if you're doing that activity. I know that it's a time saver for many to do it that way. I would suggest not doing it. I would suggest tailoring your message differently on Facebook as opposed to Instagram. And also keep in mind, if you want to share a link on Facebook, that is not something you can do on Instagram. So you want to think about the different platforms and how you're posting on them. There are third-party software options out there that will help you schedule stuff. Hootsuite, Hootsuite, does free posting up to 3 platforms. Buffer is also another one. There's also now, Facebook has moved to scheduling posts to a platform called Content Creator, which is a Facebook platform where you can pre-schedule Instagram and Facebook posts ahead of time. Again, that's called Content Creator. You can Google it actually on Google and look for it that way. So I would recommend speaking the platform language and not automating. Assuming that, in another question, assuming that you're posting every day, what percentage of these posts would you recommend be paid or boosted? Let's see here. As you know, ad budget consists of about half a shoestring. Okay, so, you know, I'm sure all of you realize that on Facebook, a lot of your content is not being seen right now. Only 1 to 2% of content is actually being seen organically. If you want content to be seen, then you need to consider boosting it, or what we call promoting a post through Ads Manager. There's a definite targeted way to do that. I would consider doing that, especially if you've written a blog or you've created a video, because you've put a lot of work into it and you have a message and you want to get it out there. You know, if you do that, the budget I would can think of about $10 a day. Okay, so no more than no less than $10 a day. So if you wanted to run something for several days, 4 to 5 days, that's going to be about $40 to $50. All right, so maybe spread that out throughout the month. If you've got $100 a month, maybe you do 2 posts at $50. Maybe you do 4 posts at $25. You work out the math there, however that works for you. But you want to be promoting posts in some way to get your message out there. Okay. Also, another one, having a huge problem with Hootsuite. I realize this isn't the forum to fix it, but could really use some help. Okay, great. Amanda, reach out to me and I'll see what I can do to help you out, okay? All right, so moving forward. All right, so this is our new normal, guys, which if you're introverted and you love being inside all day, this is like rock on, right? If you're an extrovert, you're probably like, I can't wait to get out and hang with my friends. But the reality of it is our kids are inside with us, our animals are inside with us, and we're having to work from home and also have our family around us at all times, okay? So with that said, though, we also have changes in consumer needs and wants, right? I had to use this picture, guys. I saw the toilet paper in a grocery cart. I had to use it. But this draws a point. You know, we are all shopping for different things right now because when we're at home, we have different needs. A lot of us are kind of nesting. We're working on renovating our homes. We're fixing our offices. We're doing things that we haven't done before. You know, we're in our houses. We're paying more attention to everything going on in our houses now. So that's shifting our mindset as to how we're making our spending habits, right? Online is now the place to be. So if you are a business that doesn't offer online ability or opportunity, that's something you definitely want to consider. And social media is a way for you to further amplify that opportunity. So that's something you want to keep in mind. And of course, our kids. Our kids are home right now. They're learning on computers. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if you're in the technology business, you're killing it in sales right now. Personal side note, just me getting a webcam was a whole fiasco. I won't get into it too detailed, but let me tell you, it was like everything was sold out. So if you're in particular sectors or industries, technology is one of them to be in right now. All right. All of you are going to most likely at this point fit into one of these 3 scenarios. And so I wanted to share the scenarios with you and talk a little bit about how you can actually address your needs within each scenario, okay? Some of you may be scenario number 1, where you're open, but you're hustling and you're trying to get every piece of cash income that you can so that you can survive and get through this time period. The next one would be scenario number 2. You could possibly be closed for now. You're just kind of holding steady at this point, but you have plans of reopening, you know, maybe late summer. The next one would be your business as what we call unusual. That means that you haven't really been affected too much and you're still hanging in there and you're moving forward, okay? So if you are within scenario number 1, you're open but hustling. Your business is working hard to survive and you need to build more awareness to get sales. That's where your mindset should be with your social media plan. You want to be posting everywhere, often. Telling people that you're here, that you have opportunity, that you've made changes to address concerns of your customers, your clients, that kind of thing, okay? You want to encourage your loyal fans to help you out, to share your content, to give you referrals. People get it. People know that everybody is struggling right now, and the more you can get other people to help you, the better you're going to be. And don't be ashamed to reach out for that help and get the referral. You want to embrace video as a means to share valuable information as much as possible. You know, so video is a really great way for people to engage with your brand, your content, you as a person, because they're going to watch you and learn. And it's I don't know, people just want to watch video nowadays, guys. They don't want to read stuff. So doing more videos is definitely helpful. Writing blogs, also updating your website. All right, if you have a client base is constantly asking you the same questions, put together an FAQ area on your website, you know, the COVID FAQ, and use that and refer that on social media so that people can learn about what is your standard operating at this point. You know, any of those questions, they can go right to that FAQ page and know what's up. All right, so the next one's going to be, and I'm looking at the group chat here, see if there's any questions. Let's see. What are your tips to get past awkwardness of doing videos? Aha, good one. So when you're creating video, you know, if you're an introvert, video is great, guys, because you don't technically have an audience. All right, so this is an opportunity for you to get in front of a camera and shine, and there's always the delete option and re-record option. Okay, so how do you get past the awkwardness? Okay, put yourself in a situation where you feel comfortable and just start talking. Okay, get into that flow, get a feel for how you like to present, how you like to talk. Before you do that, though, you want to think through what are the key points that you want to talk about. I don't have time today to get into the full details of exactly how you put that together, but the more you actually just do it and get in front of a camera, if you don't like it, delete it, start over again, that's going to be the best thing for you, okay? You know, people understand that not everybody's perfect on camera, and you don't have to have this polished production quality video. So the main goal is to just start doing it and getting on the camera and start showing yourself, okay? All right, so the next one is you are closed for now, okay? If you are closed, focus on creating content to stay top of mind to your customers. You want to prepare them for reopen. You want them to know that you are still there, you're still listening, and you're still going to open, okay? I pulled this example from a gym that I'm a member of, and they are fantastic on social media. They're Phoenix Fitness Martial Arts, located over off of Broad and Glenside. The business owner is doing a lot to keep activity going. Even though they had to close, they have personal trainers that are, you know, on a Facebook group. They're offering at-home workout options. They are, as you can see here, they did a virtual tour of the gym, and they posted it on their Facebook page so that when people are able to go back to the gym, they're out there, they're viable, they're showing themselves still, they're still alive. You want to still post to the page. I know the music venue that we work with, we're still posting even though we can't necessarily announce new shows right now, or we know that shows aren't going to be happening until July. We're still coming up with content so that people know, you know, that they're still alive, they're still doing business, you know, some kind of business, and that we plan to reopen. Okay, so you just want to think about creative ways to do that, and that way people know that you're still around and you don't drop off the face of the earth. All right, the next one's going to be business as unusual. Okay, you're open, operating without too much change in your income. Now is the time to focus on building your brand and awareness. Some of you may find you have more time on your hands. Use that time to build your brand. Start creating video. Maybe create a YouTube channel. YouTube, FYI, I project in a couple of years, going to be bigger than Facebook. Facebook is the largest social media platform right now. YouTube is going to crush it, especially right now with the fact that everybody is streaming, you know, Netflix, but they're also streaming YouTube. They're watching videos on YouTube. You want to consider writing more blogs. You want to redo your website. Now's the time to do all the projects that you've been waiting to do, okay, and continue to build. Continue to take advantage of the fact that you are a very lucky person, that you are still in business and you are still operating. But now you can ante up, okay? All right, so what happens when you start doing all this great stuff I just talked about, all right? That means that you're gonna start seeing your business thriving through all of this. You're going to get through this. This is not easy. I know a lot of us have various different scenarios that are happening in our lives right now. We have We have no idea when we might be able to reopen and we might be able to resume normalcy, okay? That being said, this particular journey here that I have is how we function as an agency when we work with our clients. And the reason I'm showing this to you is I want you to understand this also not only pertains to how we work with our customers and our clients, but it also is, in a sense, a journey of how you want to consider yourself as a business and how you want to operate. All right, so, you know, the very first thing here is, you know, talking. You know, you want to discuss things amongst yourself. So if you were working with us, we would talk to you to get to know you better. Maybe you need to talk with your employees, your team, to understand your business and your business needs better, and your customers and your clients, okay? The next one would be really understanding your goals and where you're going with your business. What is your purpose of what you're doing on social media, okay? The next would be conducting a social media audit. This is something that we do for all of our clients that we work with on a retainer basis, as well as for clients that specifically ask for it. That's looking at how are you presenting yourself out there to the world right now? How are people seeing you when they Google a business like yours? If you own a landscaping company and they type in landscaping company Richmond, Virginia, are you actually ranking? Are you coming up? If they type in the name of your business, is your business able to be found, and how is it being found? What are the reviews saying about you? Okay. The next thing is you want to create a plan of action, and you know, in any situation, as I mentioned earlier, as a business, you are always creating a plan as a business owner, right? So why not do it with your social media plan? All right. We would rather be proactive than reactive. If you're proactive, you're going to get results. If you're reactive, you're just holding steady. Okay, so if you want to build and you want to grow and you want to get better presence in marketing, you need to put a plan of action into place. And then the next one is you need to work that plan. All right, you need to follow through with it and actually stick through with it, because like working out, if you don't do it every day, you're not going to get stronger, you're not going to get better, okay? The same thing goes for social media and how you operate. And finally, you always want to be reviewing, reporting, and adjusting. So you want to look at, is your plan working? Are you getting the numbers and the goals that you wanted to achieve, all right? If not, great, we need to go back to the drawing board, we need to go back and come up with a different plan and then work that plan. If we are getting those numbers, let's ante up, let's do something different and just keep building and growing, right? So what happens if you decide that you're not going to conduct an audit and you don't think about what your business goals are? Well, it's really hard to put a plan into action if you don't know all that information, right? So if you can't do all of that, you're not going to get anywhere. All right, so what happens if we put all this into place and we don't work the plan? Well, then we definitely don't get anything done, right? Or if we're not reviewing and adjusting and looking at our metrics and following through with it, we're not going to know what we're doing or how to change to be better. So as you all know, social media is constantly changing. There's constantly new things happening and taking place. And unless you're reviewing and adjusting and going back to the drawing board and regrouping, you're going to become irrelevant. All these other businesses that are changing with the times, that are doing more video, that are contributing blogs, that are working on their SEO or their search engine optimization on the website, those are businesses that are consistently going to rise and be seen and make it through all this. If you are not communicating to your customers, if you don't have a plan, then you may not be around. And it is a vital, important piece of your marketing strategy. That being said, social media is not the only thing that you should be doing. There are other things that you need to be doing to market your business, okay? Email lists, maybe you have an ad in a newspaper, TV ad, referral reach outs. There's a lot of different opportunities out there. Social media marketing is a piece of that puzzle, but it is a very important piece of that puzzle. And I'm sure many of you realize it's a means for you to be able to connect with your client or customer in a very sort of more authentic way. And people today seem to prefer that method, okay? So you got a question here. How do you get to post video clips longer than 60 seconds on IG without it cutting off like IGTV? Okay, so you can't, unfortunately, someone was asking about Instagram. How do you post a video on Instagram without it getting cut off? Well, you need to post it to IGTV. Anything over 60 seconds will not go up on Instagram without being cut off, okay? Someone also asked, during this period of isolation, how would you rank the following platforms in order of importance for your business? So LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube. Most important platform right now, because the majority of people are on it, is Facebook, all right? The next one is, I believe, LinkedIn, to build your professionalism, to build your business's reputation. It's also giving you the most free reach, what they call organic reach right now, over any other platform at this point. So you want to consider using LinkedIn. Professionally for a personal account, as well as having a business account. If you don't have a business account, start one. If you have one, post to it, use it, okay? Share the content you're posting to it onto your personal accounts. The next one would be Instagram. Okay, it just depends on the type of business you are. But the really big one that just screams loud at me all the time is YouTube. If you are able to create video content and post it, put it on YouTube. Be visible on YouTube. YouTube is a place where people are going to consume content. If you have tips to offer, if you have recipes to create and showcase, whatever it may be, put it out there to the world so people can learn more about you, okay? All right, so I hope that all of you have found what I have covered today helpful. And as I mentioned, many of you have different needs, and I might not have addressed every single need or question that you have. There are opportunities to come forward to me if you did want to talk further about things. The top one that I do want to offer though today is the social media audit option. Getting an audit and looking at your current social media presence is the very first step to leading into your plan of execution of how you're going to improve your business. We need to understand what is out there already in order to improve. So I'm giving a very large discount opportunity to all of you if you are interested in taking us up on the social media audit. It includes reviewing of your current social media presence, as well as your Google presence, and then we actually follow up afterwards for a quick virtual call to discuss what we found and give you our recommendations, okay? If you're not sure of how to proceed or what services you may need, or you just have more questions, I do allow free discovery calls. Please set up a discovery call with me. Reach out to me, email me at Shannon@thesocialginger, and we'll get one set up and we'll have a quick chat and find out how we can help you, okay? All right, guys, this is a ton of information. I get it. So I want all of you to take a deep breath. We're all going to get through this together, okay? I get this, all right? When I have moments of stress, the very first thing I think of, just take the next step. If you're taking the next step, you're making progress. If you sit and do nothing, you're making no progress. As long as you're making progress, you're doing good, okay? So from our call today, the next step I want you to do is I want you to come up with a plan. Figure out what are you currently doing, what is the next step that you need to do. Come up with a plan, all right? Then if you have to ask for help because you're like, I have no idea how to do that plan, okay, we're here. You may have friends, family, other people that you could ask to have help. Do it. Ask for help. Don't be ashamed of it. Nobody knows all the answers. We all certainly have no idea how to deal with a pandemic, okay? We're all going through this together, right? And don't stop. Your business depends on the fact that you do not stop. Continue forward and continue putting stuff out there. Continue to innovate. Just don't stop, okay? I want to see all of you make it through this, and I want to see all of you continue to thrive. Got a couple months. We're going to get through this. The end of the summer, fall's going to hit, and we're going to be ready to rock and roll, right? Okay? So if you have any questions, please remember, reach out to me at Shannon@thesocialginger. I'm here to help you. At the end of our call today, it will be a little bit because I've got to download the video, but I will be sending everybody a copy of the recording of this so you can go back and review it. And then obviously, if you want to reach out, just do that, okay? Real quick, I'm just looking to see if there's any other quick questions. I think I've answered everyone's question. So again, thank you for joining me and giving me your time today. I hope this has been helpful, and I wish everybody a fantastic week. All right, thank you.